Hey guys, so first we're gonna walk into a property, beautiful property, that has not been staged, so you get that first feel impression as you're walking through the door. We're gonna go into some differences, and then also we're gonna show the after we've staged the home, so you get to see the dramatic transformation that happens when you stage. So let's check it out. So right off the bat, you get the sense of this is a large home, and it is. So we have our lowly couch, but that will be gone, so we'll be okay. Now, look at just the sheer size of this home. And if you're a first-time home buyer, you may have walked into quite a few vacant homes, and this may not look new to you, but if you've just started your search, or you're walking into a home, if you're walking into multiple homes in one single day, and some of them have furniture, whether they've been staged or somebody is currently living in it, you're gonna notice the differences right away. So between the two, you're gonna notice that you're gonna get that homey feel, that feel of home at the other properties, but when you walk into this property, it feels a little bit empty because clearly it is. So you're gonna see the transformation that is gonna happen with this home as soon as it's staged. And as a home seller, you may be wondering, well, is it really that important to stage my home, especially since I have to pay for the staging with furniture that I don't even get to keep? And the answer is yes. You certainly do get a bang for your buck, and you're not necessarily looking to either sell your home the quickest or sell your home for the bottom dollar. Of course, what you're hoping to sell your home for is top dollar. That's what you're after. You're not after the quickest sell or the cheapest sell especially, but you are looking for those offers that are going to be in line with what a property like this should actually bring in. So you essentially are looking for that top dollar, and a staged property will bring you that. So as we're walking through the home right now, you would almost think that it's a new build, and you would almost be right. We're 2 years removed to the day from this actually being a new build. So the owner would like to sell the home at this time. So a lot of these, a lot of the cabinets, a lot of the equipment, the appliances, the sinks, you see that everything is pretty much spot on and relatively new, because again, it is to a certain extent. So even when you're touring new builds, notice that you walk into a model home. There's a reason that your builders will furnish to the T, like will furnish a home with some expensive furniture, some expensive decor, some expensive designs, because they know the importance of that. So that's another aspect. So if builders are out there doing it, then it's a hint as to what homeowners should be doing as well, because builders are in it for the bottom line, as sellers tend to be as well, and rightly so. So if builders are going out of their way and spending money to actually purchase the furniture to leave inside of the home as people walk through it, then you know that there's something behind it. The only difference is that you as a homeowner aren't necessarily purchasing the furniture, you are purchasing the staging. So again, we're just walking through this property. I don't have a set pattern. You've seen the kitchen several times. I just want to give you a feel for it as you're walking through it, that it is completely empty. And then we're gonna show you what it looks like during the actual staging and when the staging is complete, to see the dramatic difference. Again, what we're hoping for, and beyond hoping, what we're gonna get is top dollar. And that's what staging will do for you. So I know it's a difficult decision, well, one, to sell, but then beyond that, another difficult decision if you've already moved out to have to spend a bit more money investing it back into the property, knowing that you're not going to be living within, especially on furniture that you don't get to keep and is only going to be around, God willing, for as long as it's on the market, which we expect this property to go rather quickly, as it's a phenomenal property. It's here in the heart of DFW, so you can tell it's massive, it's huge, it's beautiful, and you're gonna see it transformed in the next couple of minutes. So, looking forward to it. Okay, now as you can clearly see, it's nighttime. So we've had the stagers come in and stage the home. We're gonna walk in. So a little while ago, what you saw was more of an afternoon look. We did have windows open, there was some light coming in, but now it's a little bit darker. So all the lights are on, but it's still a good representation of what a proper staged home looks like. So let's just check it out. Bam. Right off the bat, you get a completely different feel for the home. It actually looks like a home, not a vacant property. Imagine that. So staging is, as you can see, it looks completely different. We have a living room, our first living room right over here, and then you have our formal dining room, which looks great. And then keep in mind, you saw everything that, or the lack thereof, that was in this property. So everything that you see, whether that be a mirror, whether that be a portrait, whether that be even wine or a prop, it's not actual wine. Everything has been brought by the staging company. So it looks so much better. I am very pleased with the stager that we went with, and their information will be in the description below. So if you like what you're seeing, you're able to reach out to them. Right now we are in Lewisville, Texas, which is a city next to Dallas. So we're in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Let me back up here for a second, so you get the full effect. This is our living room. And again, everything that you're seeing here, I mean, you can see for yourself that a few minutes ago, there was nothing here. There was absolutely nothing. And everything that you see has been brought by the staging company. And this took a couple of hours to put together. They'll come in and just get to work, and they'll put the final touches of hanging portraits, making sure that everything looks phenomenal as it does now. So as far as the actual staging itself, it doesn't take too long. So we're looking about 2 or 3 hours for them to come in, stage everything, and be on their way. So they're in the habit and in the business of making this as quickly and painless as possible. So you get on with your day, and they get on with their day. So you see just some touches here or there. They're not gonna put clothes or anything else like that, but if you want to, you could ask them to, or bring your own, and or leave your own if you've already left the property. But this is what a staged home looks like. Just wanted to give you the visual representation for this property, since we have priced it very competitively and we're very confident in the marketing that we are doing. We decided not to stage the second floor. So there are different tiers. We could have every single room here furnished and staged, but we decided against that. It helps us cost-wise, and it won't necessarily add as much. We didn't feel the need at this time, but you can certainly do that. And we'll get into some logistics here in a few seconds, but I just want to give you the full feel for it. Again, it looks completely different than the before. All of the bathrooms have been staged as well, but we won't go up there because we decided to not do that staging part. But I'll show you one last time the living room that we're looking at, and then the kitchen. It looks completely different, looks so much better. Again, the goal is to get top dollar for your home, right? So we're not although we would love to sell quickly, and although that would be that's a very good goal to have, at the end of the day, we want to drive as many buyers through that door as possible, but we also want to make a great impression. We want to minimize the amount of imagination they need to have. They get to visualize and see in tangible form what the living room can look like, what the kitchen can look like, what the dining room can look like, and ultimately they're going to be more apt to pay that top dollar that you're after. Again, time is money at the end of the day, but also you can drive hundreds of people to the property, but they won't necessarily be as apt to give you that top dollar that this property deserves. So let's get into some details. Okay, now let's talk about the staging process. The property could be semi-furnished, or the property could be completely vacant, as this property was. You're gonna reach out to a stager. You're gonna wanna reach out to at least 2 or 3 stagers, or have a reach out to a real estate professional, a realtor that already has connections, that has worked with previous home stagers. They're gonna have a good sense of what the price is out on the market right now. They're gonna have a good sense of who is in the home staging area that can do good quality work and deliver on time. So that's very important. Leverage those relationships, but if there's not an existing relationship, then reach out to several people, several staging companies, and have them give you a quote. They're gonna ask for pictures of the property or video of the property, and or physically come and look at the property, so they get a good sense design-wise of what it should look like. Now, this is all by design. There are some staging companies that are just gonna whip something together and put some furniture pieces here and there, and they're gonna call it good. But not all staging companies are the same. So be sure that you shop around and understand the choices that you have before you actually commit to a stager. So once you do commit to a stager, a contract is going to be sent out, and typically they'll give you 60 to 90 days worth of a contract. So whatever they quote you, regardless of what it may be, some people, depending on the square footage, the cost could be $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, depending on the scope of the size of the property. So a property of this size, you're looking at several $1,000s worth of staging. And again, the contract is going to reflect typically 60 days. Some companies will do 90 days as a set time period. And if the property hasn't sold, then they'll add an additional 30, 60, 90 days at a discounted rate, since the furniture is already here. This is all furniture that is owned by the staging company. So they'll essentially, you're renting the furniture for the amount of time that it's going to take to sell the property. And the reason that you're doing this, again, is to get top dollar for your property, because buyers are going to come in here and they're going to have a different emotional attachment. They're going to have a different financial impression in their mind as soon as they walk into a vacant property versus one that is furnished, and they can actually see where things can go and what the home could actually look like. So again, your personal belongings are no longer here. You've either moved already to your new home or your building, or whatever the case may be, whatever your scenario is. The point is that the home is vacant and you're trying to present a property at its optimal showing level, and staging is how you do it. So the staging company will set a date for them to come out. Again, it's going to take about 2 to 3 hours for them to stage it, dependent on how much they need to do with the property. For this property, it's a 2-story property, and we decided to stage the first floor because that's where most of the living is going to happen, and we didn't want to break the budget. This property, again, it was previously with another agent, and they've been on the market for a little while now. So we do want to be cognizant of the budget. The seller is typically responsible for paying this, and I say typically responsible because there's some other variables, but 99% of the time staging is covered by the seller unless there's some other financial arrangements. So there is a very real cost to doing this, but at the end of the day, you are seeking that top dollar. You can have 100 people come through that door, and the more that they get a sense of what home could actually look like, the more inclined they're going to be to offer you a higher offer price. So that's they're going to come out 2-3 hours. They're going to get everything in order, and then they're going to be gone. Very, very soon we're going to have an offer on this house. Hopefully that's the plan anyway. And once the offer has been made, the offer has been accepted, the staging company will typically ask for anywhere from 7 to 10 days from closing for you to give them a heads up so they can arrange for their people to come in and take up all of the belongings. So if you've had a real estate transaction before, or whether you're new to the real estate world, the moment that you close anything on the property, it legally belongs to the buyer. So you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you sell the property and all of this that is not yours, again, this is a staging company, is in this property. Technically it's there. I'm sure you could have that delicate conversation with the buyer. Hey, my stager's still there, but that's something between buyer and seller. But if you're looking at the actual real estate law as it sits, or real estate norms as they are, the moment that you sell the property, then whatever's within is the property of the new owner. So you certainly don't want to have a staging company the following day from closing and technically be trespassing on the new homeowners. So that is the process. Again, you want to reach out to several staging companies to get a good sense of what they're going to quote you. And the quotes are going to vary quite a bit. You're going to have some bids for $5,000. You're going to have some bids for $3,000, some bids for $2,000. Look at their previous work, see what they have done before. This company has been phenomenal to work with. So their information will be in the description below, and I highly recommend them if you want to reach out to them. They are here in the DFW area, and they've been phenomenal to work with. They've worked with our budget, and as you can see, they did a phenomenal job. We're very excited. We're going to be hitting our marketing very hard tomorrow when we get our professional photographer in here, and we're going to be on the market very, very short amount of time, during a very short amount of time. So very excited.